first half. He appears to be okay, and it looks like he will be back in the football game. Good news for Wildcat fans. Should be a very interesting second half. Chula Vista wants to throw the ball. El Camino's going to have to stop them, and as Coach Meyer said, they're going to have to start doing some tackling after the Spartans catch the ball. And El Camino is going to want to establish that running game and keep it going with Darren Norris. It's going to be strength versus strength, and it's anybody's football game right now.
El Camino will start the second half by receiving. Chula Vista at one point held a 10-0 lead after capitalizing on a blocked punt and a fumble. Now it'll be Gary Egg to kick off. Another squibber taken at the 18-yard line. A hole there almost to the 39-40-yard line. Almost broke loose right there. Number 33, that was Norris. And El Camino will start good field position.
Well, let's see if right off whether El Camino can do what Herb Meyer said. Can they stop the penalties? Can they get rid of those mental mistakes? Can they establish their offensive game? And that is mainly running the ball with Johnson passing for effect.
Demery goes to the right. They give it to Norris, left side. Norris with a good move there, breaks outside and gets to the 45-yard line, a gain of 6. And what a move Norris put on right there.
He has that ability just to bounce to the outside seemingly without any problem. Just he knows exactly when to do it. He had 46 yards in the first half, so he's on his way to 100, picking up the pace here.
Thurman comes out to the right. Johnson, the quarterback. Johnson rolls right, looks for Thurman, and Thurman, the pass in his hands, but it just went right through it. Incomplete on the coverage. Number 32, J.J. Liggins for the Chula Vista Spartans.
Good throw by Johnson. It was right on the money to the outside. Let's take a look at the Chula Vista defense and their smiling faces.
Offensive line, Leon Hart, Collins City, Barra, and Lilly.
Handsome guys for a defensive lineman. Have to qualify that.
Third down and 4. Back to live action for El Camino. They give it to Norris on the fake. Norris cuts it inside. Norris breaks a couple of tackles. Norris all the way down to the 39-yard line of Chula Vista.
Well, that play looked doomed from the very, very beginning because it seemed like Norris was a little deep. The play seemed to be going on slow motion. And Norris just broke a tackle and made something out of nothing. And that's all there is to it.
Take a look at the Chula Vista linebackers now. Krim Garski and Randy Smith there. Garski making sure he looks good for the cameras. First and 10 for El Camino at the 39-yard line. We see Norris going the other way. Big hole. Norris cuts to the outside. Penalty flag goes down. Norris to the 34.
Wait and see what the call is. You see with the referee signaling holding against El Camino. Once again, the penalties are going to put El Camino right back in the hole.
Now let's round out the secondary of the Chula Vista defense. Get a good look at it. We see Peraza, Nodzik, Liggins, Bay Dean, and Scott Falls. A very outstanding group and one of the big reasons why Chula Vista is here tonight. Of course, to get this far, you've got to have a pretty well-rounded team all the way.
And El Camino has marched all the way back to the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line. They'll be faced with a first down and 25 to go.
Costly penalty. Norris now the only running back in there. Johnson to throw. Completes it out, but that'll be it right there. Matt Esposito on the carry, but his knee touched, and so it'll be a very short gain to the 48-yard line.
A very, very short gain. But Johnson has impressed me. Johnson does have a good arm, and he knows how to use it. He was not really throwing the ball very well early on in the season, and that's a sign of his game that's really developed. He's mainly known as a running quarterback. He has over 400 yards running on the season, but he has really picked up his percentage so far later in the year and his accuracy.
Second down, 23 yards to go. Norris at flanker. Miro in the backfield. Norris setting up for screen pass and can't make the catch.
He better be very careful there of getting on that football. If that was thrown just a little backwards, it would have been a lateral, and that would have been a free ball. And that one was very close. Usually it's not real close, and they dive on it anyways. That one was close.
And that'll bring up a third down at 23 yards to go for the Wildcats.
They were on the move. They had the ball in Chula Vista territory. Penalty takes them right out. That's the story right there for El Camino. That's what they can't afford to do.
Oliger and Esposito line up wide to the left from the I formation. Johnson rolls to the left, looks deep downfield for Esposito. It's intercepted by Woods. Woods takes it into the 15. He's got some running room. It gets back up to the 39-yard line of Chula Vista.
Well, that was just a happy birthday for Woods because Johnson threw it downfield. Woods lined up at the beginning of the play almost on his own 25-yard line. As we take a look at it, you won't see Woods in the replay initially. He's just playing center field way back there. You can't even see him in the picture. He's playing on his own 20. There you see him way back there. And he just was able to walk over there, and Johnson threw it as far as he could throw it. Woods does a good job getting the ball back upfield.
And Miro with the tackle. He goes both ways, so that's not a surprise. 1st and 10. Ball at the 39. Woods in motion. They give it to the second man through. That's Pocklington, who gets up close to the 45-yard line.
Well, if you're a Chula Vista coach right now, you want to throw the ball. You've been throwing the ball very, very well, but you've got to keep that defense honest. You've got to at least make them aware of the fact that you can run the ball and that sooner or later you may try to run the ball. And so that's good. When you can get 5 yards and first down running the ball, that'll just open up the offense all that much more.
You do that all day long. 2nd down and 5. They give it to Cribb. Cribb stopped after about 3-yard pickup to the 47-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short for the El Camino Wildcats.
Chula Vista doing a good job now running the football, bringing up 3rd and 1 situation.
Rodney Dean brings in the play for Chula Vista.
The El Camino coaching staff still not real happy. We still have not seen Herb Meyer smile, so my one prediction has held true thus far.
Officials timeout.
They're sending number 20, Ricardo Yancey, over to the sideline. He may have an equipment problem. In the past, that might have been just an automatic penalty. Now they send him over to the sidelines. He seems to be having some problems with his helmet. Darren Norris will go in to replace him at that cornerback position.
3rd down and short for Chula Vista. Pudgel at quarterback. Woods goes in motion. They give it to Cribb, and Cribb is hit immediately. He'll be stopped for a 3-yard loss, and what a play by Darren Norris. Was one of the players in there along with Casey Malauulu.
It was Norris who hit him first, and Norris went in there and said, I know they're not going to throw the ball, coach. I'm just going to go in the backfield and hang out for a while. And that makes a big defensive play. Stops the Spartan drive.
Pocklington now back in punt formation. High snap again. He gets it off. Merrill's going to take it at the 26-yard line. Merrill will go down right there, and El Camino will take over at the 25.
Well, Steve Miro is not back to the receiving punts because he's a speed burner. He's back there because he can catch the ball and he's not going to make a mistake. And so he did a good job there receiving the ball. El Camino now has a 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. They were able to move the ball last time until a penalty stopped their drive. And that's why Herb Meyer is such a pleasant man at the moment.
El Camino 1st down and 10. And we're going to have a penalty right there as Norris breaks over the left side for about 4 yards, but Miro was in motion, and that'll cost El Camino 5 yards.
And what Herb Meyer is saying now is not really fit for family television. See, being worked on the sideline there is Tim Bush. He's been playing a big football game on defense. They would miss him.
Five-yard penalty assessed against the Wildcats. It'll be 1st down and 15 yards to go. Bush, one of the leaders on that defense. Johnson, play action pass, goes across the middle, and it's intercepted by number 32, Steve James. James with some running room, gets to the 26-yard line. Penalty flag goes down.
Flag was after the interception, however, and that was just an ill-advised throw by Johnson. A couple of Spartans had a ball. It was just a tip drill after the initial throw. As you see, Johnson goes back. He's trying to get it over the linebacker, and it just the linebacker tips it up, and then it's anybody's ball. Right there now, it was right there to take it was James.
Gene Hughes had a shot at it. The penalty goes against Chula Vista, an illegal block, which sets it back to the 41-yard line, but nonetheless, Chula Vista does have the ball.
Once again, the breaks go in the favor of the Spartans. See if they can capitalize on this one.
Pudgill looking to throw, looking for Dean, complete to the 30-yard line before he's tackled.
Great job by Pudgill. This time he just took a three-step drop. He was hit almost immediately on the three-step drop, but he got the ball out to his receiver, who was just on a one-on-one pattern, and they got a good gain out of it in the first down.
Cyril Onti on the coverage right there. We have a look at the defensive line of El Camino, Heike, Luna, and Malaulu. 1st and 10. They give it to Pocklington. Pocklington gets through that middle and comes back. Pocklington breaks another couple tackles, then he gets down to the 17-yard line.
Well, El Camino's just not tackling right now. If you want to sum up why the Chula Vista is doing so well, El Camino's not tackling. It was indicated in the first half. They missed a couple of tackles on receptions, and they're still having the same problem. Pocklington did a good job of breaking tackles, but El Camino's just not doing the job on defense.
1st down, 10 to go at the 17 for the Spartans. Pudgill fakes it, gives it to Krim, and Krim plows his way to the 11-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Chula Vista offense showing a lot of diversity right now, trying to keep that defense off guard.
You see Demery right there. Now let's take a look at the linebackers from El Camino.
Not people you'd want to meet in a dark alley.
Bush, Young, White, and Miro. Bush, number 54, was beat attended to on the sidelines. He's no longer sitting down. 2nd and 4. They pitch it to Pocklington, and Pocklington will be stopped for a couple of yards, a loss.
First man there was Malulu, and they just did a good job. Bush back in action was right there also. They strung out the play very, very well, got into the backfield, and the running back, Pocklington, just never had a chance.
4-yard loss on the play now.
Loss of about 4 yards on the play will bring up 3rd down and 8 for Chula Vista. And this brings up a must-throwing situation. That's what they wanted to avoid.
Junior Ano of El Camino. 3rd and 8. Egg sets up way to the left. Passing situation for Pudgill. Play action pass, and Pudgill is hit. Fumbles the ball, but I think it'll be called dead beforehand. El Camino recovered, but a couple of the players, Ricardo Yancey for one, upset. And now we're going to get a penalty against El Camino, and that is costly, and Herb Meyer is furious. His team stopped a big loss right there, a big play, and now they're going to get 15 yards back for unsportsmanlike conduct.
It was automatic. Chris White turned around, threw the football down. Referee saw that. That's automatic penalty. Nothing you can do about it. You saw him being talked to by his players. Herb Meyer's got a few choice words for him, and that's going to put him right back in situation. Pudgill going back on this pass here, he was looking downfield, but he never saw the guy coming from his blind side. Ball was ruled down immediately, and Herb Meyer is talking over religious situations with his players right now.
And the penalty moves the ball to the 13-yard line, and that'll be easy position for Egg. It'll be about a 30-yard attempt for a field goal. 4th down and 6. without the unsportsmanlike penalty, tack on 15 yards, it'd be a 45-yard attempt, and that's a big tough one for a high school football player. 30 yards is well within Egg's range.
And he's still kicking with his right foot.
Yes. He doesn't change in the middle of the games. He just decides upon it beforehand. The set, Egg, the kick, it hits the top of the crossbar, or the bottom of the crossbar, and does not go in. So El Camino avoids the bullet right there. A big break for the Wildcats, and they'll take over at their own 20-yard line.
That is a big difference, unable to convert on that turnover. And then the subsequent mental mistake, perhaps that'll give a little bit of momentum to the Wildcats, but they're going to have to capitalize on the momentum. They're going to have to cut down on these penalties, and they're going to have to execute on offense and defense if they expect to get back in the ball game. Of course, only down by 3 points, and that helps.
Esposito and Demery to the right. First down for El Camino at the 20-yard line. They fake it. Now he pitches it to Norris, and Norris will get stopped just short of the original line of scrimmage. Johnson lucky that El Camino still has possession. He pitched that after he was hit, and in the grasp of one of the Chula Vista defenders, Norris just stopped and waited for it.
We'll take a look at the pictures. We're not going with Johnson, illustrating why the option is a high-risk offense. Johnson it's an option play, a single option. We won't take a look at it. Okay. Either way, it'll bring up a second down and 11.
Johnson gives to Norris, left side. Norris will get up to the 25-yard line. Tackle made by number 25, David Lilly of Chula Vista.
Bring up third down and long, a passing situation for the Wildcats.
And that was a very impressive run right there by Norris. It didn't look like he had much, and he still wound up with 6. We get a look at the El Camino sideline.
Big play right here. They want to get it out of their own end.
Norris up the middle. Norris skips through. It looks like a first down, and indeed it will be. He just slipped through a very small crack in that Chula Vista defense to continue this drive.
And that helps. That first down is very important. Norris didn't get much of a crease here, just gets enough and gets tripped up and slides on through. That's all he needed. It was a first down.
Get that knee across the 30 stripe. Chula Vista showing blitz. They're coming. Johnson gets it off. And the pass complete to Esposito. Esposito hit before the ball was there. No flag goes down. He caught it anyway. It'll be to the 38-yard line. It'll be second down and 3.
Good throw by Ken Johnson. He goes back and he drills his receiver, and he wasn't that open. He was working one-on-one on just a little curl pattern. Impressive throw by Ken Johnson.
Second and short. Miro, the lone setback. Norris and Flaker. Quick pass to the outside, complete. A good move put on by Esposito. Esposito gets into Chula Vista territory to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's the type of play that Chula Vista has been doing, breaking that initial tackle and doing the job, getting the ball upfield.
First and 10 for El Camino at the 47-yard line of Chula Vista.
Now they cannot get a penalty. This is the situation they've been hurting themselves in.
They give it to Norris coming back across, and he's hit immediately. He'll lose a couple of yards back to the 49-yard line.
Good job by Eric Collinson that time, staying at home. They were just trying to catch the Spartan defense, maybe perhaps over pursuing. First time they've run that type of counter play. Collinson stayed at home and shut the play down. Interesting, Ken Johnson, 7 for 13 so far on the evening, doing a good job at quarterback, using the pass not frequently, but enough to keep that defense honest. 58 yards. More yards than that.
Second and 12. Johnson rolls right, puts it up, completes it to Ullinger. And Ullinger trying to spin out of that tackle by Woods.
He'll get down to the 36-yard line.
Just a pinpoint throw by Johnson. A couple of Spartans had a chance at it. Threw it by the linebacker in front of the defensive back. They're on the move. 40 seconds now remain in the third quarter.
Coach Herbeyer still not satisfied with that. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They're on the move. This drive started at the 20. Norris in motion to the left. Johnson rolls that way. Looks for a screen. Norris is going to have to put some moves on it. He does. He gets to the 33-yard line. Turned what looked to be a few-yard loss into a... Oh, he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Actually, I thought it looked like it was going to be open for a while. Norris going out in motion was open, but just excellent pursuit by the Chula Vista defense. Collinson coming over from his defensive line spot, coming from behind the play. That's the end of the third quarter of play. An impressive third quarter for nobody, actually, as El Camino hurts itself and Chula Vista unable to capitalize.
Chula Vista maintains its 10-7 lead. Now let's go downstairs to Don Tennyson.
We were talking to the El Camino coaching staff just a moment ago. The incident with Chris White and the personal foul that was called against him just a few moments ago, gentlemen. He has not been ejected from the ball game. We do expect him to return for El Camino on defense later on in the fourth quarter. One other quick comment, and that is that on the pass play that El Camino nearly scored their touchdown on, the receiver went out of bounds. And that we'll comment on this a little bit later. We need to get back to the action. Let's go back upstairs.
All righty, thank you, Don. 2nd and 7. Johnson rolls right, looking for Esposito. Esposito was open. The pass not there. It'll be 3rd and 7 for El Camino.
Very interesting for them to throw the ball in that situation. They obviously having a little bit more confidence now in Johnson's ability to throw the ball.
We should mention that Don tried to get into that play which set up El Camino's initial first and only touchdown. He talked to the officials at halftime about whether or not the receiver stepped out of bounds and was still nonetheless eligible. We'll have to wait for those comments. 3rd and 7. It'll be Norris trying to sweep right. Norris trying to find some room, and he'll be stopped short of the first down at the 31-yard line. A short pickup right there. Good pursuit by the Spartans. J.J. Liggins leading it.
Well, that was Darren Norris against the entire Chula Vista defense. He just tried to outrun him. Liggins did a good job coming up from his defensive back spot and took him on in full stride.
Okay, Don, can you give us a little explanation on that pass play?
Talked to the officials about it, and it was simply a situation where the official just happened to miss the call. The penalty there should be 15 yards and loss of down against the offense if the receiver comes back in bounds and catches the pass after he's been out of bounds. Just one of those things where the officials didn't happen to see it. Let's go back upstairs.
Intercepted by Chula Vista. The pass intended for Esposito, but Bay Dean comes down with it instead. The all-league secondary man for Chula Vista. A big play right there for the Spartans to thwart a drive by El Camino.
Just a throw that requires a lot of touch from Ken Johnson, and he just was not able to get it over Bay Dean. He was trying to get it within the little seam of the defense right there. Johnson goes back, just trying to sail it over Dean's head, and Dean, who has 7 interceptions on the season, just makes a great acrobatic interception, and Esposito puts him down.
Back to live action. The give to Pocklington up the middle. He breaks a tackle, gets to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Spartans. And getting back to that play in the first half, Kevin, where the receiver went out of bounds, I'm sure the official was surprised here, Don, say, well, no, we have it on the replay that the guy went out of bounds. High school officials aren't used to that. The pro officials know that everything they call is going to be second guessed, and there'll be 6 cameras looking at it in slow motion. 2nd and 5 for the Spartans in blue and white. They give it to Pocklington, and Pocklington's hit for a loss. At the bottom of that play, Steve Miro, the man who goes both ways at fullback and linebacker, an all-league performer for the Wildcats. It'll be a loss of 2. Let's call it 3rd and 7.
Well, that's why Miro was the defensive player of the year. He makes the big play, even though there's a lot of kids bigger than him. A lot of kids maybe get a little more publicity. Miro makes the big play, though.
3rd and 7 for the Spartans. Woods goes in motion. And it's picked up. Oh, it's broken up by El Camino. A great play by number 89, who's not on our roster. But now, actually, that's number 89 is Mike Zinniger. Let's take a look at him right now. The defensive back, Spears, Ontai, Zinniger, and Castro. As we see Pocklington punt, a big rush right there, and Pocklington another acting job. Miro calls a fair catch, and then the ball a little behind him, he just lets it go. A wise decision by Miro, and El Camino will take over on offense.
Well, not only was that a great acting job by blocking Pocklington that time, he kicked a great punt. Beautiful sailing kick. Goes all the way to the El Camino 42-yard line. Now let's see what El Camino can put together on offense now. 9:20 remains in this ball game. They're only down by 3 points. But they've shown they want to try to have a balanced attack. That's what they've shown so far. Ken Johnson's not afraid to throw the ball, except now they've had 4 turnovers in the ball game.
9 minutes and 10 seconds left in this CIF 2A championship game. That's all that remains of the season for these two ball clubs. Flea flicker play. Johnson puts it up. He's looking for Demery, and it's intercepted by Woods at the 25-yard line. Check that. Scott Falls comes down with it. Luis Peraza and Demery all put together. We've got a player down for Chula Vista back at the 35-yard line.
The injured player is David Lilly, but that's 3 interceptions now that have ended El Camino drives. They just try a little something fancy here. They just try to give the ball. They give the ball to Norris, and then Norris just tosses it back, hoping to freeze those defensive backs. Johnson throws it as far as he could, except the defensive backs weren't fooled. Just a big interception by Falls to come down with the football.
And we should note, Esposito was actually open. The pass thrown a little bit behind him, allowing Falls to catch up and make the interception.
And that's 5 turnovers now for El Camino, and they've had 58 yards in penalties, 6 penalties for 58 yards. And we see Lilly coming off the field, and he's just looking real pretty right now, isn't he?
First and 10 for the Spartans. Egg goes to the right, Dean to the left. Spartans, little luck on the ground. They try it again. Pocklington will pick up a couple. We should note, Pocklington normally plays fullback. He's been moved to tailback tonight because of the injury to Frito Dwyer.
Crash Dwyer.
Crash Dwyer. It's funny, we can kind of joke about it a little bit now, but it was a very frightening situation for Chula Vista. The accident occurred on the way to the San Pasqual game last week, and when they received word that the 3 players had been in the accident, they did not know the extent of it. Pocklington to the 30-yard line. Coach Odesorgan said that his team was worried about it. He said most teams would have folded up at that point, but his team nonetheless went out and won the ball game, not knowing the condition of a couple of their teammates. 3rd down, 5 yards to go for the Spartans.
This is a big play for Chula Vista too. 7:41 remains in the ball game. They can put together a drive here. They can keep the ball away from El Camino. They'll be in the driver's seat.
And not this time. Frito Dwyer, he'll be stopped well short. Penalty flag goes down. Frito Dwyer, I think that's his 2nd carry in the ball game. It'll go against Chula Vista. Naturally, El Camino will decline, and Chula Vista will be forced to punt.
Well, the El Camino defense now is doing the job. They're making the tackles. They have shut down Chula Vista. A Chula Vista offense, it's become a little bit more conservative, perhaps, as the 4th quarter's rolled around.
The penalty will be marched off against Chula Vista. It's a major one, 15 yards. A clipping call. So it is still 4th down. Naturally, El Camino takes the yardage if it's still fourth down.
Well, I'm sure they realize that Pocklington's only averaging 24 yards a punt thus far in the ball game, and they figure that the defense is stopping them. This is confidence in your defense.
3rd and 22, check that. Bud go back, draw play, nothing going there. Stopped right at the 11-yard line. It was Krim on the carry. And now, with the ball on the 11, El Camino, 7:01 left in the ball game, trailing by 3, should get the ball in Chula Vista territory.
And that's why they took the penalty, because now Pocklington's going to have to kick from his own end zone, only averaging 24 yards a kick. It's good strategy.
Big rush, he gets it off. Miro takes it at the 46-yard line. Fair catch called right there, and El Camino 46 yards away from the lead or a tied field goal. And you've got to wonder at this point if Herb Meyer is thinking anything about that field goal. If they go down Marsh, kick the field goal, it's a tie ball game, 10-10. Last year, 0-0. Everybody was disappointed. It was like kissing your sister, they said. They certainly don't want to tie, but they don't want to lose either. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. El Camino, they give it to Norris, left side. Norris gets a yard, perhaps 2.
Let's not forget, though, that last year when it came down to it and El Camino had the ball in the game with a minute to go, Herb Meyer played for the tie last year. And his team's not playing much better this year. He said last year because his team was playing so poorly. Well, they've had 5 turnovers thus far. They've had 6 or 7 penalties. So I think he would be very satisfied to kick a field goal and maybe try for a tie at this point if he can get the opportunity.
Yeah, right now it's 2nd and 9, 6:08 left in the ball game. Johnson drops back, sends it to Norris. Norris makes a cut. A beautiful play. Norris has got some running room down the left side. Norris to the 20-yard line. What a move by Darren Norris when it looked like he was going to be stopped for very little gain at all. El Camino now at the 20-yard line and in good position. Let's take another look at it. Watch the move by Darren Norris right here.
You can teach a player how to catch the ball and where to go, but you can't teach him this, how to use your blocks, how to look downfield and say, look, that's what your man's doing, and cut off that block. Darren Norris does that so very well.
He nearly went all the way. Scott Falls making the tackle and just barely pulling down Norris. 1st and 10. They give it to Esposito, right side. He'll pick up a couple down near the 16-yard line. Second down, 6 to go for El Camino.
Clock ticking away, 5:25 remaining in the ball game, 2A championship. It's going to go down to the wire.
El Camino wants the touchdown. They don't want a field goal at all. Norris up the middle, nothing there.
Beautiful play by Eric Collinson, the 5'10", 180-pound senior. Was right there in the hole. Norris had nowhere to go. We've got a timeout called by El Camino with 3rd and 6. They want to think about this one.
Herb Meyer takes a stroll out there. The ball is at the 16-yard line. If they were to kick a field goal now, it would be a 33-yard attempt. So they want to get in. They want to get the first down, of course. And that eliminates any talking about a field goal or a tie. They want to win this ball game.
So far, in these type of 3rd and long situations, the general rule for El Camino seems to be they want to get the ball to Darren Norris, or 2, give Ken Johnson some options. Either send him on an option play or send him on a sprint pass option. So as Meyer goes into a deep confessional with his team, I'm sure probably that's what he's talking about. Either give one of those 2. They want Norris with the ball, or they want Ken Johnson to have some options.
Get it, man.
3rd down and 6. 5 minutes, 4 seconds left. Herb Meyer walks off the field worried right now. He looks up at the scoreboard. His team trails by 3.
Johnson is 11-20 passing on the ball game, but he's got 3 interceptions this half. Big play.
Let's go.
Johnson turns it up himself. Johnson gets the first down inside the 8. What a play on the option. He saw a hole, turned it up, first down, El Camino.
Well, that's why they wanted to give Ken Johnson the option, because he took the ball realized exactly where he wanted to go. As he took the snap, you make an initial read here. When he gets the ball, he's reading the man right there. He reads where the man is, and he turns the ball upfield. And he gets the big first down, first and goal for the Wildcats.
From the process, the Wildcats 8 yards away from the lead, which they've never had in this ball game. They give it to Norris up the middle. Norris fights his way down near the 5-yard line. That's about it, though.
Well-known football philosopher said, son, yards get very, very tough within 10-yard line.
Yes.
And right now, that's what the Wildcats are going to be faced with. Second down and 5, and that's a very long, tough 5 yards. I would like to see them perhaps try to show some option again for Johnson, give him a throwing option to go into a power I formation now. First time we've seen that.
They give it to Norris. Norris right side, maybe to the 3, but that's it. And now another big decision for Coach Herdmeyer. 3rd and 3. And now he'll send Scott Thurman in with the play, which could decide whether this game winds up in El Camino's grasp, or whether it's a tie, or whether Chula Vista will win it. Herdmeyer right there.
3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the ball game. You almost do have to feel that this is it right here.
3 backs right there. They fake it. Johnson pitches it outside and stopped short. Is Esposito to the 3 or 4 yard line. Good defensive play by Luis Peraza, and now it'll be 4th down for the Wildcats.
And exactly the situation you were talking about before, and it looks like Herdmeyer is going to go for the field goal. Let's give Luis Peraza credit on that last play. He was in the backfield. He made the big tackle. Stopped Norris before he could really get going.
And had he not have made it, El Camino leads this ball game. Miro now trying to tie it up. His team trails 10-7. It'll be from the 10-yard stripe. 20-yard field goal attempt. It's down. And it's Esposito tosses it up in the air. It's intercepted by Peraza. Peraza knocked out of bounds at the 22. After Esposito could not get the snap down, and Chula Vista's lead remains intact.
Well, anybody who saw the Madison-Henry game knows exactly the volatile situation there. That game, Henry put together a last-minute touchdown on just that type of play. But Chula Vista dodges the bullet. It was not a good snap. It looked like they had some problems with the hold. And then from there, the kick was doomed.
And you can see right there, number 20, Ricardo Yancey, pretty upset there. His team with an opportunity to tie it.
Yeah, I'd say he's pretty upset.
Justifiably so. Now they've got to make something happen. Pudgo, quarterback sneak, picks up 1, starts the clock, 2:10 left. El Camino has 2 timeouts left. They have to stop Chula Vista here to get the ball back.
Chula Vista have been very conservative in this 4th quarter in their play calling. They better be a little careful here because El Camino can stop the clock twice, and they can get it with some time left.
The ball at the 24-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Chula Vista. The clock, 1:36 left in this season. Pocklington picks up a few yards. Pocklington breaks loose. He's going to go all the way and ice this ball game. El Camino's players in stops now. Chula Vista is going to win the CIF 2A championship. Pocklington looked like he was stopped and then broke loose for a 66-yard touchdown. What a play by Pocklington. He didn't stop. He didn't give up. That illustrates what Chula Vista has done today and what El Camino has done tonight, because El Camino has not tackled well, as we'll see it here on the replay. Pocklington was stopped.
This is a story of the entire game. Every big play Chula Vista's had tonight is because El Camino missed tackles, and that's a great run by Pocklington. He just breaks off those initial tackles, and it's gone. And every big play, the big catch by Eng in the first half, broke tackles, and
Jerry Wesselow disappointed now. Eng now to kick the extra point. And that's not the way you do it, and yes it is. Couldn't tell whether it was good or not, it is, and now Chula Vista leads 17-7 with 1:22 left in the ball game. No more questions here. El Camino needs a miracle. Mike Hutchins disappointed right there, along with number 1, Scott Thurman.
Well, Hutchins is a sophomore, Thurman is a junior. They'll be back.
And next year is the year that they were pointing to. That's when they have a few seniors on this team. Norris is a junior. They've got a lot of people coming back.
All game long, every time Chula Vista needed a big play, it was El Camino not missing the tackles. I was saying earlier, Eng on that big reception in the first half, missed tackles. Woods made a big play, missed tackles. And now the killer, the throat slicer, the run by Pocklington, missed tackles by El Camino. You can look at that two ways. Conversely, Chula Vista caused those missed tackles, and that's what we'll give them credit for. We'll look at it from that side, because they've done a good job all game long.
The Chula Vista backs not giving up. Eggs, kicks, skitters along the ground, taken at the 22 by Demery. Demery finds a hole, gets all the way up to the 40-yard line of El Camino, but that's all. A good run back, unless you're back by 17-7, and then the only good run back is all the way into the end zone.
Well, Saul, it's one problem we were having. I didn't know what locker room I was going to. I know now. Gary, he's had a big game all day long. First half, he had 3 receptions for 92 yards. He's been kicking well. Just one of the reasons Chula Vista is about to win a 2A championship.
Chula Vista ranked number 1 throughout most of the season, will remain there. Johnson now trying for the miracle, puts it up for Esposito. Esposito cannot hang on to it. It's behind him at 54 seconds left on the clock. Johnson, disappointed, shakes his head.
He's had 3 interceptions in the second half. None of them really were classically his fault. He threw into some coverage, so you can't say he's played a bad game, even though I'm sure they're going to look at the stats tomorrow and see those interceptions.
And I think at this point there's a lot of El Camino's players who'd like to have that feeling of kissing their sister right now and being co-champions, which we talked about. The disappointment they had last year, this year they'd be much more happier. They're not going to make it. They'll be runner-up.
Well, the faces tell the story, there's no doubt.
Johnson moves up in the pocket. Now he'll run it, pick up a couple of yards. That's all. 45 seconds left. And El Camino will use one of its timeouts. It now has 1 left.
And on the Chula Vista sidelines, they unfurl a big banner now. They were prepared for this. CIF champs. They were ready. A big blue banner comes out. They were ready for this championship. They went 10-1 all year. They played very, very well. The only loss was to a 3A team, Sweetwater. They've just done it all year long. Never really was given the respect, however, and now they've earned it.
Herb Myers in the middle of that El Camino huddle. And Kevin, what do you suspect he's saying to him right now? 43 seconds left. They're down by 10. Not much question here.
Usually in that type of situation, a coach will just talk about what's going on. Say, this is the play we're going to run. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're looking to do. Not talk about the game situation. Not try to pump them up. They're easy. You can't do that. The kids aren't stupid.
And the pass batted away by number 14, Albert Leos.
And I think that was a flea flicker. Darren Norris, who's limping now, I think he had a little cramp, was following the play. I think it was designed to go to the receiver and then be flipped back to the running back. We haven't seen that, but didn't work anyways. Story of El Camino's evening thus far.
39 seconds left. Ulinger brings the play in for El Camino. One of its final plays left in the season.
And we're getting close to the Hail Mary time just to throw it downfield. This is it. 4th down, might as well. Toss it in the air.
Johnson looks across the middle for Esposito. Complete. Esposito to the 30-yard line. And timeout called with 32 seconds left.
Stopped automatically because of the first down. They got to get on the football now if they want to get another playoff. Maybe they did credit them with a tough...
El Camino.
They did give them a timeout, and that's a mistake if you really want to look at such things, because clock was stopped automatically.
Well, it stops briefly for the chains to get set. Starts when the chains are set again.
And that's a story. Chula Vista with a late touchdown just a minute ago by Sean Pocklington. Broke free on a scamper down the sidelines to put this game out of reach. A tight ball game. Chula Vista broke out to a 10-0 lead. And El Camino's been fighting back all night long. And the frustration shows on the face of Tom Carson. But he's a junior too. He's going to be back.
1st and 10 from the 31. El Camino season winding down. Kid Johnson over the middle, incomplete pass intended for Norris. 28 seconds left.
And I will see you just a bit, Phil. I'm going to go down to the Chula Vista locker room where I'm sure I will meet some very happy Spartan players. Have fun.
28 seconds left is all that remains in the season for both Chula Vista and El Camino. For Chula Vista, it will be a short jaunt to the locker room. For El Camino, a very long walk. Co-champions last year, they had a chance to tie it up and missed it. Johnson puts it up, completes it to Esposito. Esposito keeps finding his way to the 10-yard line. It'll be first down, 21 seconds left. They'll have to hurry. El Camino, no time left, no timeouts left. The clock will start when the chains are set. It starts right there. El Camino could be its last play of the season. Johnson now aims for the corner. It's almost a touchdown. The pass was in Demery's hands, a little bit behind him. He could not hang on to it.
Almost picked up by AD.
Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Chula Vista up 17-7. 10 seconds away from the CIF 2A championship game. Kid Johnson would like to put another score on the board, make it look closer, a little more respectable. He'll come to the sidelines and talk to Herb Meyer, as Chula Vista called a timeout right there. We see the El Camino sideline, the assistant coaches. They are obviously not happy. Kendall Webb, the commissioner of CIF, to the left there in the red sports coat. And there, Chula Vista head coach George Onessergan. And with 10 seconds left, his team up by 10. He's still moving things around, putting a lot of players who haven't played in there now so that they can say that they played on the CIF 2A championship game at San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium. 10 seconds left, we're ready to go. Johnson wants to put it up, looks across the middle, touchdown to Matt Esposito with 7 seconds left. El Camino closes the gap, but it's still a long, long way to go for the Wildcats. They would still need a miracle. They'd have to kick the extra point, go with an onside kick, pray for one play to the sidelines to stop the clock. They have no timeouts left and position themselves for a Steve Miro field goal. And that's certainly a lot to ask, but they haven't given up yet. El Camino will go for two. Johnson just throws it down. Nothing doing there. He was not happy with that, obviously. And that makes it even more difficult for El Camino. At this point, a Steve Miro field goal would not do them any good. The score now 17-13 after the missed extra point. 7 seconds left. Chris White, he knows the situation of the game. His team has come so close. Chris White's a senior. He will not have another chance. The scene at Jack Murphy Stadium, the cloud still from the cannon. which went off after El Camino had scored its touchdown. But it may as well have been saluting the Chula Vista Spartans, for they are the champions. Almost. Now El Camino will kick off. One would expect an onside kick. It's not going to come as any surprise. They need a miracle. And they'll kick it to the left. It's caught by Eng at the 47-yard line of Chula Vista. He just falls on it right there. Chula Vista need only snap the ball once, and it will have the CIF 2A championship in its grasp. (17-13) the score. 4 seconds left. It does not even have to snap the ball. That's the ball game. Chula Vista wins the CIF 2A championship, 17-13 over El Camino, and that's one happy group of Spartans.
We'll have our award presentation for the champion and their runner-up.
Chula Vista, ranked #1 throughout most of the season, remains there with its 17-13 victory. It finishes the season at 12-1. El Camino drops to 9-4, where it finishes the season. And you can look back at the mistakes made by El Camino all year long. A blocked punt sets up a touchdown. A fumble sets up a field goal. And then when they had an opportunity to tie the ball game, they could not kick the short field goal. They couldn't even get the kick into the air. Chula Vista takes over, puts some icing on the cake, wins it 17-13. And now Coach George Onesergan carried off the field by his team, the 2A champion Chula Vista Spartans. See the El Camino sideline, they're disappointed. No question about that. They came so close. They were down inside the 10-yard line. They were at the 8-yard line, 1st and goal, with the chance to go out on top and could not pull it off. And we'll be back to talk to some of the champion 2A players after this brief message.
For the CIF Championship 2A, a big hand for an outstanding job.
They came by the hundreds from every part of the country to the National Cerebral Palsy Games. It was a time for testing, for measuring abilities, not disabilities. Competition is essential to the development of any person. It is the act that teaches humility and pride. It involves the process of winning and losing. And in the midst of that process, one governs a sense of self-worth and respect for others. Sports for cerebral palsy is not a service, it is an opportunity. Nothing is given to the athlete but the opportunity to work for a goal. When you contribute to United Cerebral Palsy, you open up that opportunity. You're not giving a hand out, you're giving a hand up. This is how it goes down. In the Cerebral Palsy Games, everybody wins, including you.
All right, thank you, Phil, with Darnell Woods. A tough night for you tonight. Last week was the Darnell Woods show. Today they're playing you real tough, weren't they?
They were. I thought, well, Sean did a real good job, and they were just double covering me and stuff, but, well, the other team, well, it was just teamwork, really.
It's got to be sweet for you. You're going to be back next year, too. Could it be any better next year?
Well, I think so.
What are your, coming into this game after the last week when you did not know with the car accident, things were going all wrong for you, but you won anyways. What was your attitude coming in tonight?
Well, I just thought we could just come out and win and play our best.
Well, and you certainly did. Congratulations, Darnell. I'll let you go to the celebration, and we'll take it back up to Phil in the booth.
Thank you very much, Kevin, in the championship locker room. Let's go downstairs now to Don Tennyson, who's on the sidelines with CIF Commissioner Kendall Webb.
The commissioner of the CIF, Kendall Webb, is with us, and Kendall, congratulations on a great year of CIF football.
Well, thanks are not to me, but to the kids who deserve the right to be here. I am just privileged to be here watching.
It's awfully nice to be back at Jack Murphy Stadium, isn't it?
It's great. It's great.
Tell us a little bit about the preparations that it takes to put on such an event like this.
Well, there's a lot of things that have to be done. First of all, you have to get the use of the stadium, which was an achievement in itself. You have to line up the personnel staff to staff it, the concessions. You have to make a multitude of arrangements with the 4 schools. A lot of planning among the 4 schools has gone into this, and a great pre-sale of tickets at the 4 campuses, where we give them an opportunity to make some money for themselves by giving them a $1 rebate for every adult ticket they sell, and every 50 cents on every student ticket they sell. And it helps increase the coffers of their own student bodies.
Mm-hmm. Do you anticipate the use of Jack Murphy Stadium in future years?
I think we're committed to coming here. We've had some assistance, a great deal of assistance, I should say, from the San Diego City Council by underwriting a portion of our expenses. And we plan to be here as long as we can look into the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm. Both games being played on the same night is an interesting format. Do you think that will continue?
Yes, we had it here for, I'm going to say, about the last 5 years, except for last year, where we went to stadiums outside of San Diego Stadium. We went, because of finances, we went to a 3A game at one site last year and a 2A game at another site. But we found that although we saved on expenses, the income was greater to stage it here in the stadium. In other words, we wound up with less profit, even though we saved on expenses, by going outside. So we're going to be here in the years to come.
Well, Commissioner, on behalf of everyone at Southwestern Cable TV, congratulations on a great event, and we're just as pleased as we can be to be here and bring the folks at home this event, and we wish you the best of luck throughout the rest of the school year.
Thank you. See you next year then.
Kendall Webb, the Commissioner of the CIF, is with us, and we'll return to more action in just a moment.
Hey, you want smoke? No thanks, I can live without them.
The American Heart Association. We're fighting for your life.
Okay, thank you very much, Don and CIF Commissioner Kendall Webb. Let's go back to Kevin Brass in the locker room.
Thank you, Phil. A very wet but a very happy Coach O. The team's cheering behind you, but tell me about this team, the CIF champions.
Well, the CIF champions are a team with probably the biggest heart in the county. They play their hearts out, and that's the whole secret about this team. When the chips are down, they want to come back and get after everybody, and it's all heart. We've seen kids that play with all hearts. We had a lot of adversity the last 2 weeks. About 4 starters go down, some backups go to the hospital, get hurt, and the kids just, we're gonna win it. We're gonna win it. And that's the name of the story.
They seem to do a good job taking away your biggest offensive weapon, Darnell Woods, and your outside receivers did a great job. Your quarterback did a great job.
You know, that's true. They took away Darnell. They took away our running game, but see, that doesn't take away all the facets of our offense. We still have Sean Proctor who can do some things. Our quarterback throws to the other receivers, gets them open. You know, you can stop maybe Darnell one game, but you can't stop the other guys, and I think that's been the key. The other kids come through when the chips are down.
And in the second half, your offense got a little bit more conservative. What was the philosophy behind that? And it almost hurt.
Yeah, it's kind of been it's the same things happened the last few weeks. We get conservative, but we kick the ball, and our defense takes the field and causes some turnovers, and that was the key. I think El Camino had 6 that second half, and that was a real key. Our defense did a super job, which is what they've done. That's the best thing they do, is just create some turnovers and give us the ball back.
And tell us about the run.
Well, it's exciting. It was just one of those runs where it's stuffed. You know, there was no gain there, but everybody stopped, and Sean kept his feet moving and took off.
Great, Coach. Congratulations on a big win. I'll let you go to your team. They're having a big celebration. We'll take it back up to the booth.
Thank you very much, Kevin. That's going to do it from San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium. Chula Vista wins the 2A title with a 17-13 victory over El Camino. The 3A game coming up right after this for us. It'll be on another night on Southwestern. Check your listings. For Mike Romero, our statistician, for our announcers, Don Tennyson and Kevin Brass, and for the entire Southwestern crew, I'm Phil Urbina saying thank you for joining us and good night.
Spaniard, he's a chuckle. See the Spaniard take it all. He's a Spaniard, just a no one. He's on Quality Street. He's on Quality Street. Was a mattress where I was, and the angels in that bed, so I speak past the hole. Riding up the air, was a mattress where I was, and the angels in that bed, so I speak past the hole. Speak past the hole. Riding up the air, yeah. See the Spaniard, see companion, see the Spaniard suspector. See the Spaniard, send his friends out. He's on Quality Street. He's on Quality Street. I pretender. Do get back in his brain. The work you don't see. It always fascinates me. Yeah, the mouth is right I want. And using that, that's how I speak past out. The mouth is right I want. And using that, that's how I speak past out. I thought you